Hi friends, welcome back to the daily current affairs quiz discussion where we discuss current affairs questions for the UPSC prelims examination. In this video, we are going to discuss top current affairs questions from 6th of May's current affairs. Let us start. The very first question I have framed on elections. On elections expenditure. Let us read the question. Consider the following statements. Statement 1 says, in India, there are no limits on expenditure of political parties during election. Statement 2 says, Representation of People Act 1951 outlines expenditure limits for individual candidates only and not the political parties. Guys, what is the answer? Is both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct, and statement 2 is the correct explanation of statement 1, or both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct and statement 2 is not the correct explanation of statement 1? Statement 1 is correct but statement 2 is incorrect, or statement 1 is incorrect but statement 2 is correct? I would like that you attempt this question in the next 1 minute and write your answer in the comment box. So guys, I think you must have attempted this question. Guys, the answer to this question is both statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is also correct, and statement 2 is the correct explanation of statement 1. Guys, in India, there is no limit on spending by political parties. There is only limit for individual candidates. You can see here Election Commission of India has prescribed the limit of 95 lakhs for each Lok Sabha candidate and 40 lakhs for each assembly candidate. You can see the expenditure will be calculated from the nomination of each candidate until the election procedure completes. The expenditure includes public meetings, rallies, advertisements, hoardings, pamphlets, flexes, campaign material, and all other election related work. Okay, so this is a very important question. There is no limit for political parties, but there are limits for only individual candidates. And because of this, what happens? Political parties spend a lot of money in elections. Okay, there is another provision. Let me just show you. The political parties who collect fund, okay, political parties can collect fund for their elections, and this fund which they collect for elections has to be in one account, and the entire details have to be shared with election commission within 75 days of election in assembly elections and within 90 days of Lok Sabha election. You have to file your expenditure total statement, okay, expenditure statement, political parties. And if you fail to file, then guys, what happens? You can see here in 2014, you know what happened? Election Commission has suspended the recognition of one political party because it failed to file its expenditure statement. So this is a very important fact which you can use in your answers. Let us see question number 2. Guys, question number 2 I have framed on rising gold prices. Rising gold prices. Okay. So let us read the question, guys. Consider the following statements. Geopolitical conflicts fuel gold prices. Statement 2 says gold is often seen as a safe investment during uncertain times. I'm giving you 1 minute to answer this question. You have these four options. What is the answer? After that, I'm going to explain you what is the answer of this question. So guys, I hope you must have attempted this question. Guys, both statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is correct, and statement 2 is correct explanation of statement 1. Guys, gold is considered very safe asset. It is also considered as a hedge against inflation. During uncertain times, particularly geopolitical tension, gold prices rise because people start accumulating gold. Okay, so very important. So the answer is option A. Both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct, and statement 2 is the correct explanation of statement 1. So generally, when do gold prices rise? When do gold prices rise? What are the factors? Okay, so we can write geopolitical tension. Then economic uncertainty. Next, inflation. High inflation. When there is high inflation, so what happens? The purchasing capacity of rupee decreases, so people start accumulating gold as a hedge against inflation. So these are some of the factors which fuel the gold prices. Okay, next question is on swell waves. Guys, recently swell waves have hit coastal Kerala. So let us see the question, guys. Consider the following. Swell waves are created by underwater displacement, usually associated with earthquakes occurring below the ocean and around 10 times faster than tsunami waves. Second statement says tsunami waves are caused by ocean swell, which is because of huge storms like hurricanes or fierce gale wind. Guys, here, let me see how many of you are able to answer this question. Which of the above statement is correct? One only, two only, one and two both, or none? I'm giving you 30 seconds. Guys, here we will apply option elimination technique. Guys, whenever we have two similar types of statement on two different things and there is a comparison, there is a high chance that there is rule of exchange, option elimination rule of exchange applies, which is swell waves happen because of ocean swell, where winds from the storms like hurricanes and gale winds transfer energy to the swell waves. On the other hand, tsunami waves are caused by the underwater displacement of volcanoes and earthquakes. And tsunami waves are 10 times faster than the swell waves. So the answer to this question is option D. None of them are correct. Let us see the next question. The next question I have formed on bamboos. Let us read the question, guys. Scientifically speaking, bamboo is not a tree but a grass. Statement 2 says bamboo grown on both forest and non-forest lands is classified as tree under Indian Forest Act 1927. I'm giving you 30 seconds to answer this question. Let me see how many of you are able to answer this question in 30 seconds. So guys, statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect because there was amendment to the Indian Forest Act 1927 around somewhere around 2019-2020, and under that amendment bamboo grown only in forest area will be considered as trees, whereas bamboo grown in non-forest area will not be classified as tree, and the farmers, tribals can cut those bamboo trees for their own commercial activities. So guys, answer to this question is one only. Bamboo scientifically is a grass, it's not a tree. Okay, you can see here bamboo is generally grown in India in the northeast region. In the northeast region, generally, okay, generally, but it is grown, okay, a lot of places except Jammu and Kashmir, bamboo is grown everywhere. But okay, the predominant area of cultivation is northeast. You can see here bamboo is highly renewable as it growth cycle is very short. Different parts of plants have different use. Bamboo shoots of some species are edible. High nutritious value. Bamboo improves environment by significant ways by cleaning the atmosphere, and it is a soil purifier also. It is hard, light and flexible, and it is a good substitute of wood. It is in the hilly region. Okay, bamboos also help in soil preservation. So very important, lot of applications of bamboos, you should be knowing it. Okay, let us see the next question, guys. Recently, there was a very like big article on Sudan civil war. Okay, Sudan civil war. Sudan is a favorite topic in UPSC map-based question. Let us see this question, guys. Consider the following pairs: armed rebels and country. Kachin rebels, Myanmar. Houthi rebels, Lebanon. M23 rebels, Sudan. Rapid Support Forces, DRC. How many of the above are correct pairs? Okay, I'm giving you 30 seconds. Let me see how many of you can answer this question in the comment box correctly. So guys, answer to this question is only Kachin rebels, Myanmar is the correct. Houthi rebels is in Yemen, M23 rebels in DRC, and Rapid Support Forces is in Sudan. So guys, you can see this Sudan. Sudan is a very important country, guys. It is in news. So two regions in Sudan which can be asked is Khartoum, which is the capital, and Darfur region, where lot of displacement has taken place. You can see Sudan's bordering country, Egypt, Libya, Chad, CAR, South Sudan, Ethiopia, Eritrea, and Red Sea. These are the bordering countries of Sudan. Very, very important. This Darfur region is very important because lot of displacement has happened in the Darfur region. And the tribes which are found here are Nubian tribe. Lot of different types of ethnic communities are found here. You can see here 19 major ethnic groups are found here, and there is lot of ethnic tensions in Sudan. So guys, you see how we have framed this test. Okay guys, so I hope you like this initiative guys. Please do support our initiative. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.